There's a storm, but it's passing just to the south of us, unfortunately, and that's pretty much what we're gonna get, which is a lot of nothing. Ooh, saw that lightning. But looking at the radar, there's a pretty big storm system that's brewing and building as it goes past us. And there's been storms brewing all day, but they seem to get big only once they go past us. We might get some rain over there, but that's a big hole in the clouds there. It's been probably a month and a half or so since we got rain. And since I got back from Florida, we've had about 5 inches of rain. All right, it's mid-June and it's time to harvest my gooseberries. Gooseberries are a crop that seems to fruit pretty reliably here every single season. This is a variety called Pixwell, and it's not the greatest variety, but every year it's just loaded with fruit. And I harvested a bunch of it already. And there's a lot of different things that you can do with gooseberries. A lot of people aren't really that familiar with them. I know they're bigger in Great Britain, but I've tried to find ways to use them because they grow so reliably here, and so I figure they've got these qualities as a fruit. They have a unique flavor. They're tart, and they can be used in different ways in like cooking or in baking. You know, a lot of people in this area will make something like a gooseberry pie or a gooseberry tart from them. But you can also expand your horizons and make things like sauces out of them, because they do have that like ability to replace something that's tart or sour in cooking. One great use that I've found for gooseberries is in pad thai, and normally in pad thai I think you would have a tamarind sauce that you sweeten, and so tamarind is a pretty sour fruit, or it's the pulp of a pod. Anyways, gooseberry is a pretty good replacement for that, and it's local and it produces really well here. I can't grow tamarind here, so I use gooseberry, and it has a different flavor, slightly different flavor, but it fulfills the same purpose of adding some tang to the sauce that you make with the pad thai. And so that's just one example. I can think of a lot of different sauces. Any kind of application for lemon juice might be good. I haven't tried it, but I'm sure you can make a salad dressing using gooseberries or gooseberry juice. And so what I usually do is cook down the gooseberries and strain out the pulp, because they do have kind of a hard skin, and some people eat them straight, like out of hand, but I find them to be a little too fibrous for that. I'm not as familiar with a lot of these unusual fruits, and so I haven't developed a taste for them, and I haven't integrated them into my diet, and I didn't grow up on them. And I think when kids grow up on having fruit to eat in their area, like I grew up with grapes to eat, but the kids around here will pick green apples off of the trees and just eat them, and I don't understand how they like them. I never would have done that, or I never would do that as an adult. But they don't seem to mind, and they'll probably eat stuff like gooseberries. I know Althea will eat a lot of different things here. She'll eat all kinds of berries and fruits that she finds, and she's like a little naturalist, though. She knows everything that she can eat and can't eat. I've got this kind of permaculture planting that I did in the last couple of years here, and this gooseberry's been here for several years, but I planted like a Nanking cherry over there. I planted some other currant and gooseberry varieties over there, and a service berries over there. And so I'm just sort of creating this landscape here that's productive, and gooseberries are just one of those things that does so well here that they're a great part of a permaculture planting. I think they have a lot of potential, and if you can find ways to use them, I think they're nutritious as well. A long time ago I worked on this organic farm in Michigan, and they had a bunch of wild gooseberries growing in that area, and there was one huge gooseberry bush that was just loaded that season, and I harvested a bunch of them, and I actually made some wine out of them. You have to add the sugar to it, but I made wine and it was really good. And I remember my college friends hanging out with them at one time and bringing gooseberry wine, And I don't know, they were joking around about it. I feel like they might have given me a nickname because of the gooseberry wine. And if you're going to go so far as to make wine, there's also something called eau de vie that's really comes from Europe. It's popular in Europe still, and it's a liqueur that's made from whatever the local berries are or local fruits that they have. So they'll make a wine out of those berries and then distill it, and so the liqueur has the flavor, concentrated flavor of whatever that fruit is. And I'm pretty sure gooseberries have to be one of those fruits that you can make eau de vie out of. So try that too.
For more permaculture tips, subscribe to Hardcore Sustainable, and don't forget to give the video a thumbs up and share it with your friends. I'll see you next time.